What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the DST show. We are live. Give me 2 seconds. I'm going to change the title up. Preseason is still heating up. Certain players hasn't been cut. I understand there's some injuries. And what is with the signings going on? Najee Harris to the New York Giants? We're already starting already in Looney Bill. How's everybody doing? But Najee Harris to the New York Giants. How did this come into fruition? After all the stuff I've been hearing, we had Rodri going from Manchester City, where he's practically a living legend, probably one of the best Spanish players in the decade, has accomplished almost everything in soccer. If you guys go over his resume, he's won the Ballon d'Or a few seasons ago. He won the Euros back in 2024 for Spain. Then he won the World Cup just around a month ago. It wasn't that long ago. They just beat Argentina, the defending champions from the last World Cup, and that's normal to happen. Usually you don't get back-to-back World Cup champions anymore. This ain't back in the day when Brazil was making that a habit, and I think also back when Western Germany, because there was two Germanys divided, World War II stuff. We don't talk about World War II stuff. Unless it fits the narrative. Now, I understand the controversies going on to the Rodri signing because this has been a tug of war. We understand Barcelona, Real Madrid have such a heated rivalry. You'd think for bidding wars for top acquisitions would be more competent because of the two teams' play styles and a bit more of a profile of player. It's less common that Barcelona would go for the more marquee signing if we keep it a buck. We understand that doesn't happen all the time for Barcelona. Besides that, it's crazy. I think it was reported 60 million plus add-ons and an additional 50 million over the transfer fee for Rodri to Barcelona. That's insane. Like, that's beyond insane. Probably one of the best midfielders in the world. For nowadays, you get any random person coming to the Premier League, you get 120 million. Some guy literally came from Nottingham Forest, like a bottom tier team in the English football. He got signed for 130, 50 million. He's like the third highest transfer in the world right now. Rodri only 60 million. God forbid if he was 19 years old. God forbid. He's like the best Spaniard in the world next to Pedri, even though he didn't have a good World Cup, and Lamine Yamal that didn't even score in the final. It was freaking Ferran Torres, and he got still signed less, and he had the game-winning goal. But it's more of ability instead of moments that get you expensive. And Rodri's all ability. Literally had the best XG and has made a habit of being one of the most conceded best six all-around midfielders that can also push over like 20, damn near 30 GA while keeping the team into a good decisive factor. Because when Rodri was out with an ACL injury after his Ballon d'Or campaign around the I think the Euros, Manchester City was completely exposed. Liverpool took advantage, had the hottest run they had with the last peak of Mohamed Salah, and won the Premier League. And then as soon as he returns back from injury, Manchester City wins it again. And then Arsenal happened. Spurs fans don't want to remember Arsenal Premier League winning season while they were damn near at relegation. That's probably a nightmare fuel scenario for London fans because we know there's like multitudes of London teams in the world, so it's a shame. But at least they're back. Had some ambitious moves, but if anybody outside of the American spectrum, you know, that's insane news for Barcelona fans that were more of securing a marquee name to solidify their Champions League's aspirations. And this is gonna be a very hectic season. It's been a hectic off season for almost everything else involving like any other major sport. Hell, even the major league, even though MLB league is going on right now after the trade deadline, and they're already threatening for a lockdown because of the unfair financial rulings that's going on with the LA Dodgers, and somehow they still lose to the freaking. I think last time they lost to the Chicago Cubs. They got upset by some teams, even though they have the best pitching rotation in the world. I don't know. I don't know. Besides that, Jaden, Julian, I'll see you in my office, please. We're gonna. I'm not gonna make this short and sweet because, of course, it's like one of the headliners of the video. If you guys know Jeff Teague, former All Star, NBA champion with the Milwaukee Bucks, Jeff Teague has had a reputable rotation, reputable, you know, success with his podcast 520. He's got himself an Adidas deal. Has been a very optimistic source of how to be a former NBA player, pull his own spin into things, and he does like less confrontational content over speaking basketball talk, and that's so difficult to fathom for certain podcasters out there. Unless you're Draymond Green because you don't want to face someone on one-on-one fight. I understand completely. Shout out to Jordan Poole. Besides that, if you guys know Jeff Teague, because obviously he's been in the league, you know who hasn't been in the league? Julia Newman. 10 years, damn near, like what, 12 years ago, he was like a elementary to middle school phenom, being like 4'6", with these outstanding dribble moves, chucking the ball everywhere against like varsity competition from like 12 to 18, and literally stunted his growth not only as a basketball player but literally was like 5'6" in senior year. Me personally, I don't know how you get hosed with that. And yet his clout and reputation over his more street ball aspects not really evolved his game, was pulling himself and clouding himself over just being another internet sensational basketball player, but he was more theatrics while getting into drama, while his sister was like hoeing around with the same aspirations. But later on, just she knew she really wasn't developing over into high basketball IQ and developed into like any type of legitimate talent because they have no particular traits that really elevate everybody else's game outside of the Ball family. Somehow they be just fighting over with everybody since Jaden Newman got leaked over for having OnlyFans in like recent memory around the summer, just getting cracked while her father's hearing the headlines. That's a nightmare that I'm not willing to have, folks. I'm not saying that you can't expect like your daughter to do something scandalous in her private time, especially Jaden Newman and Julia Newman are not children anymore. These are fully grown adults. I mean, as grown as you can get at 5'6". Let's keep it a buck. But besides that, yeah, I mean, her doing adult work and having OnlyFans isn't that common. We've seen, sadly, some actresses, formerly some actresses from the 2000s, even get into OnlyFans. If you know, like female internet sensations that were like child memes turning into like OnlyFans content, like Danielle Bergoli or the Bad Baby. I think that was her name. That was her other like theatric name. Bella Delphine, just people that just had a reputation and just coasted that over their internet and already had like media training, like being on TV already for the dumbest reasons. If basketball isn't gonna work, well, at least we know she's not going to the WNBA because she likes the other side. And then, coincidentally, in a podcast with Julia Newman in it, this brother said the dumbest shit I've ever seen in my life. And look, I am not anything. Look, get your money up. Is it any of our business? No. If you want to make an OnlyFans, it's perfectly fine. It's within your right as an adult to make money your way. Just don't. The only concern I'd have is just make sure nobody gets hurt. Julia Newman saying that at 18 he was trying to enforce his sister to get an OnlyFans at 18 fucking years old. That is weird. That is motherfucking weird. Whoever thinks that is absolutely normal to do as a sibling. And look, I get that there's avenues in the bubble of OnlyFans to make a living, but the only prevalence that you have of being a former prodigy of basketball to barely make it past the high school level, and you to be a freshman at 23 years old for college hoops at the bottom tier of even JUCO level, there's no holding back into like how sad it is to try to feel like to convince your sister to do OnlyFans before she's even at drinking age. That's gross. No career plans, no modeling. I can understand modeling. Probably some freelance work acting. Hell, getting yourself into mass media, sports media, doing some acting shots for some pop the bubble shit. You know, the 20v1 content that's been oversaturated around the internet media. But come on, that's gross. And then he tries to enforce that, and then falsely accuse some co-hosts over in the 520 podcast that they were trying to sexualize his fucking sister. That is gross. And look, do whatever you want. But trying to falsely accuse a man that everybody, he's trying to even try to falsely accuse everybody that they were already sexualizing a minor that was just playing fucking basketball and had aspirations of probably being the first female NBA talent. Not WNBA only, just female NBA talent. I think the last thing in everybody's mind is that, oh God, you're a whore. That's disgusting. And then getting in with the fucking co-hosts. And this is the same guy that was still trying to push over for delusional excuses that why any NBA team wouldn't even hook him up, not even an overseas team. And then try to push over the comparison still with LaMelo Ball, and this guy's been in the league since 2020. What are we doing here? Like, there's got to be some sort of mentality of delusion, especially if you're untalented and you're deluded. That is some New York mentality, folks. I swear I thought he was from New York instead of Orlando. Because I think he comes from Orlando, Florida, and Orlando actually has a pretty reputable basketball circuit. Sure, it's not powerhouses like some parts of Carolina, Georgia, Texas, even in Cali. It's predominantly some parts of the Northeast. It's not as big as it was for New Jersey and New York anymore. And Julia Newman got to know the writing on the wall that he's ass. There's got to be some writing on the wall that he's ass. And then you want to still try to push up fights that LaMelo Ball owes you $20 fucking in the Big 26? You ain't getting that shit back, even if he's a billionaire. He doesn't know you, bro. The only thing I remember any interaction involving the Ball family is when he cooked you guys by 50 points in a exhibition in a school game when you thought you could play against top tier competition. You know how many like top NBA prospects come from these schools you were trying to match up with? When most of the time you guys were just doing globetrotter treatment against below tier schools of the district, and as soon as you actually have to go national, you get mollywopped by 40 to 50 points. And this isn't like young LaMelo when he was like 16, still playing with all three of his brothers. This is around like 17 to 18-year-old LaMelo when he's like 6'7" and can like, no joke. Please do not type that on the chat. I swear I will ban somebody. Uh, he's already around the size that he is currently. He's currently at his NBA size. He's had a massive growth spurt. He was like probably like a bit taller than Julia Newman by like 5'8", 5'9". Then he grew to like 6'8", 6'7", and then he already has the passing ability, the floor spacing, his jump shot. Now he can shoot over into a regular clip and gets mollywopped. You don't want to know what happened when they played like a top 3 school. Oak Hill would absolutely treat them like it's a layup line. They'd be doing fucking Mikins. They won't even attempt a 3. All of them will be doing 40-foot jumpers and making them like nothing. And then they'll make the league an average 23, and that's just natural selection. I wish I was joking, folks. And I don't even know how this comes into fruition, because at least like the Ball family, and I understand everybody, especially like around like 2016, 2015, God forbid, if you were focusing on the Ball family that much, because we know how big of the Ball family were, as big as some NBA players out there back in the day. And now you look at them now, where was the comparison at, except that they were just spam dribbling? Well, some of these kids already were winning like county championships, national championships. LaMelo Ball was already a professional basketball player, like 17, 16 years old, playing in like, I think, Lithuania or something, or Latvia. LiAngelo Ball was playing professionally until he developed into his rap persona. I'm not singing back that song. Never mind. Never mind. Lonzo Ball has built himself to be a reputable starting level like floor general when healthy, where he's already had a damn near 10-year career in the NBA since getting drafted second overall from the Los Angeles Lakers. And LaMelo Ball, an all-star guard, is now teaming up with one of the best high octane acrobatic, explosive guards in the NBA out of Anthony Edwards. That's an insta lock on 2K now. Julia Newman still thinking he can even be a late bloomer in the league. And again, that growth spurt peaks at like 21, 22 years old. I doubt that you can even get to 5'10". And the undersized excuses got to stop. The undersized excuses got to stop, ladies and gentlemen. We understand there's always a frame dilemma of what you could do at the pro level when it comes to like playing. But you take it like there's not undersized guards in the NBA that's made a living, like Spud Webb, Nate Robinson, Colin Sexton. You're kidding me. Isaiah Thomas is literally the biggest example. He was an MVP candidate with the Boston Celtics, averaging 30 points and had a 10-plus year career in the NBA. Since his time on the Phoenix Suns, Sacramento Kings, Boston Celtics, Cavaliers, Lakers, Wizards, that's value. And now you're beefing with the most like non-confrontational podcast of all time. And Julia Newman with this fucking auntie hair that he waving around trying to talk shit. Like, this is sad. Hold on, let me see if I can clip it. I hope I don't get sued. I think I'll only show a couple minutes. Hold on, folks. Josie and the Pussycats. Josie and the Pussycat. If you guys remember where that came from, that came from Boomerang. It don't seem that we got that gorilla for sale. We got that gorilla sale. I ain't getting banned.
Roll the dice.
Go ahead and roll the clip.
Just send me a little clip of the Jeff Teague sorry ass podcast.
Bro.
20 or something.
Stupid ass
First of all,
nigga.
who listens to that shit? For one. Second of all, you over here clowning Pops, working me out when I'm 10 years old, bruh. On some advanced shit.
On some advanced
that's the
shit.
#1 training video of all time. It got 20-something million views.
Is that his
He
hair?
really worked out to it. No cap.
Oh, that's a lace. You can see the headband.
Okay.
Fat dude on there too. Fat ass nigga always running his mouth.
Fat ass nigga.
First of all, they're already accusing him of having a lace front. Is crazy. That's brutal. Excuse me, folks. I had a bit of
You feel me?
Old, bruh. On some advanced shit.
On some advanced
that's
shit.
the #1 training video of all time. It got 20-something million views.
Is that?
Oh, by the way, folks, if you want to know the training regimen Julia Newman was doing, and by the way, he was doing this in one place. Doing hard tween dribbles, behind the back dribbles, cones. He was dribbling around in cones. And if you guys have played any sport, even trainers, coaches will tell you that doing cones is frowned upon because it doesn't emulate any sorts of real game things. So whenever you see Julian Newman dribbling around, he's just in one place. And he's saying that he dribbles better than Kyrie Irving, folks. He says this. At that point, LeVar Ball is right. Lonzo is better than freaking Stephen Curry.
His
He
hair?
really worked out to it. No cap.
Oh, that's a lace. You can see the headband.
Okay.
Fat dude on there too. Fat ass nigga always running his mouth.
Fat ass nigga.
Talking about
Damn.
his sister know how to dribble some other
Talking
boy.
about the co-host here.
When she was a young girl, you was sexualizing her.
What? This is where, like, we gotta drop the pen for a second. In what way, any source of the media, that we were sexualizing Jada Newman when she was like 15 years old when she was popping on the internet with her brother? The last thing that she was doing was being a fucking hood rat trying to flirt and get the IG of LaMelo Ball in a game. And the biggest meme that came out of that was LaMelo Ball brushing it off, literally saying that I don't run it, saying he don't got an IG. He ain't trying to get in that type of mess. He knows he's going to the NBA. He already linking up with Brittany Renner. I'm joking, but any IG model available. Why you just show up with some wannabe?
You know what I'm saying? You weird as hell. Get some pussy in real life, bro. You know what I'm saying, bro? On
What
Twitter,
is you
Hey, has he
doing?
opened his left eye the entire video?
He's a clown, bro.
I don't know why he didn't go into the shade. I have no idea why didn't he go into the shade. He literally had a chance to just go into the shade. If he wanted to spur it out, he's just walking around, disturbing the neighbors. Hell, he could have just went inside his room, where he doesn't have to squint in the middle of the hot sun to get his point across that he thinks all these guys are washed up, fat, and weirdos. Oh, and allegedly PDF files.
Bro, wait till I see you in person.
See, that's the part.
damn,
I'm
that
like,
nigga eye is
kind
kinda-
That nigga I opened the entire video.
Bro, don't do that. Like you want to fight though. I don't like that.
What the fuck wrong
stop,
with Cuz?
That coat. That nigga.
He hiding the bitch. Gotta be.
Got to be.
Then you said I sexualized your little sister. Bitch, I didn't even know y'all. This nigga, I think maybe he don't understand what we said. He don't know how old we are. For real. Like, I knew you because you and your goofy ass daddy was running around on all the little talk shows and shit. You was dribbling for 30 seconds and shit. Like, I remember that, but don't nobody know you lame ass nigga.
Like, we would consider more of a publicity stunt instead of a sensation. While the Ball family, like when Lonzo Ball was even considered a high prospect, but not at the level of like what Jason Tatum was at the same draft class, would be closer to what Stephen Curry is. Hell, he played him in the finals. Lonzo Ball has barely made a conference finals appearance. at least Lonzo Ball was a reputable NBA prospect. He was considered a lottery pick at the time, even though his jumper was pulled into question because how unorthodox and inefficient it was. But his court vision, his height, and his finishing was shown, and he's already shown to be a reputable team lead whenever he's put there. So at least he was already automatically seen to be an NBA talent. LaMelo Ball was the funnest one, but considerably still needed development, but he was still pushed over as a reputable prospect. Or LiAngelo Ball, I don't think was like a polished player, but had the size to like at least outmuscle and shoot. But we know probably his stints in the G League really didn't get him his opportunity to be in the NBA. You know, it sucks. They all have their own controversial story. I had to go into a further different video. I think there's like different content creators that go over that. I'd shout them out for you. One guy, this guy right here, Hoop Threads, goes into more in-depth controversy. He's not that he goes more in depth than documentation, video essays on these people. So shout him out. Like watching his videos.
He's a fucking weirdo, bro. I was so shit. I said, did this nigga damn near call me a pedo?
Yes.
Bitch ass nigga, and you trying to send these empty ass threats? I will smack the fuck out of you. On my mama.
Oh God.
And niggas will really get on your
He
ass.
just wrote you
Shit.
an alleged PDF file. That is crazy. That's gonna be the worst thing. You know what's the worst part? You're allegedly calling somebody a PDF file, and yet you're enforcing your sibling, your own sister, to go for OnlyFans as soon as she graduates high school. That's crazy to me.
It will slam you on your
On my
head.
mama, we would drag you through Cali, fuck boy. Buy your hair. On my mama.
Well, he ain't gonna drive the car. Bitch gonna come out.
I swear I was like, damn, he sending empty threads?
Yes.
You the one said you was gonna pimp the bitch out?
For real.
Go ahead, play the clip. We here.
Yeah, like, fuck is he on? And God, shout out to her. You feel me? If you want to sell that motherfucker, sell it at the premium price that you want to. But don't let your brother be your manager.
For real.
Please don't, because he gonna fuck the bag up.
He probably sent the leak.
Take the wrong way up. When she was 18, I tried to get her to make OnlyFans.
Come on.
Yeah, you see,
stop.
it's already
Don't take it
documented.
wrong.
It's already documented right there. Who's the real weirdo here? Who be trying to convince their own sister to do an OnlyFans? You explain to me, chat. You explain to me. Now, I've seen a lot of egregious stuff, but they're making any anime fan look normal right now. They're making anybody that watched those pig farmers scene in Red Dead Redemption 2 normal. Shit, they're making Neymar Jr. with his sister look normal, for being honest.
Wrong way, but she turned 18. I try to get her to make OnlyFans.
Come on,
brother.
do
You,
it, bro. And where's the daddy? Fire that nigga. Your stupid
By
ass
the way,
daddy
there was,
already lost 103 to 12 last year, so bitch, clearly you can't coach. Get your stupid ass on. You need to get back in your household, fuck nigga, because your family is embarrassing the brand for real, nigga. Got this nigga sitting down next to her. She just dumb as hell sitting next to him. Like, don't even know what to say. Like, damn. Nigga, Adam so crazy. Adam looking like, nigga, is you cool? Did you just say you was
I'm
gonna...
not gonna lie. How downhill is your career if you're still doing No Jumper podcast in 2026, ladies and gentlemen? You either gotta be a washed up wrestler, a porn actress, an OnlyFans model that lost its popularity, or a rapper that never had a hit single since 2020 started, to like still do No Jumper interviews when probably No Jumper needs everybody at this point, since filed for bankruptcy.
Don't pimp your sister out. Then he talking about the sex tape, bitch ass nigga. You probably leaked it. He talking about nigga. They talking about, because Adam's like, is it news? And he said, no, it's a full thing.
Oh my!
She go, that motherfucker clowning, doing all kind of tricks.
Oh
Hey, you see how, I ain't watching though.
I ain't watching though. Yeah, you did, fuck nigga. Probably had your wood in your hand, weird ass nigga.
Oh.
Probably done whacked out to another nigga hammer your sister. Fuck ass nigga. Then you on another podcast your mama in that motherfucker, and the nigga sitting next to him saying, "Damn, bro, your sister tape fire." He just
That's crazy. That's fighting words. That's fighting words, people. I'm not gonna lie. Imagine you're in an interview with your own mother. We're discussing your sister on OnlyFans, and the guy's like, "Hey, man, I made sure to like the video, dude. I made sure to put an Addy there, and now I'm a premium subscriber. That content was fire, folks." That's like villain. That's a villain origin story, folks. Your own fucking daughter gone OnlyFans, and then some dude right behind you complimented that the video's fire. She's a little fucking princess, ladies and gentlemen.
laughing like, "You got that, Mal?"
Nigga told him that, cuz.
And then told us,
Excuse me?
Man, what? On my mama, this nigga's a bitch. Right here.
So I obviously saw the stuff of your sister.
Yeah.
I went and checked it out.
You told me you spent a couple hours on that.
I checked it out. Not a couple hours. Like less, probably an hour. Fire, I'm not gonna lie. Like,
What?
it was pretty good.
What?
Oh my
You talking
god!
about fighting?
You
Pause the
talking
video.
about fighting? Fuck
Talk
ass
about
nigga.
fighting?
Oh, this motherfucker sitting right next to you telling you your sister is ornery on camera. And your mama there, nigga.
And his mother was
His mama
there?
is standing in the back of the cameras listening to this
Oh
shit.
my god!
He like, oh, he's sitting there wilding. Boy, you's a bitch. I ain't worried about you. That's crazy, bro.
That's crazy work.
Hella disrespectful, bro. Fuck that nigga. Fuck cuz.
Respect, cuz.
I swear to God, bro. People sending me shit. I'm like, y'all, don't worry about this nigga, man. Leave him alone, bro. He crashing out. Don't even know what he doing. Embarrassing his family. Then he make a video talking about his loved ones ain't standing up for him because they see you's a bitch, bro.
I'm sure Julia Newman actually has like real friends. Real friends keep it a buck. If you're not making the league, it's like, hey man, sit down. Your sister has an OnlyFans. You're not making the NBA. Jamie, your father Jamie sold the Prodigy brand for like two cents on crypto. Crypto's down, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. And you're telling me now a fucking podcaster invite me to their show and they tell me my sister's OnlyFans is fire? How's the mother not even going? Kicking the shit out of the host for disrespecting the sister. Hey, but at least she found a new career plan while Julia Newman doing content creator boxing.
You don't stand for shit.
Well, at least his eyes open in this one.
Oh, you know what I'm saying?
Yo.
So-and-so said this, so-and-so, hey, bro, if you really rock with me, if you really mess with me, you supposed to check that person for one. No. First of all, they not supposed to feel comfortable talking to you about me.
Enough. I don't want to hear this nigga no more.
I'm so sick of this nigga, bro.
Please.
5'6" and you do the whole Jordan Clarkson. You're like 5'6", Julian. This is you doing the whole Jordan Clarkson Utah Jazz little. I'm gonna try to throw it up, but I'm not really gonna hit somebody. You're gonna sort of fight people. That's what you short people do. At that point, just do the LA Fitness Classic after some unfortunate runs don't go your way. Grab the Glun. Grab the Blicky. Hey, ball up top. That's a carry. Oh, I got something, but I'm gonna shoot it up top of your head. Fucking weirdos, man. We got, by the way, a bit of a consolation, a bit of another additional, little community note. It's hoopers like that put pickleball, gentrifying the fucking LA Fitness, the 24-hour fitness. I don't think they have basketball gyms or courts in Planet Fitness. But if you guys go into your local gym and you see why there isn't basketball anymore, just know it's hoopers like that. You don't want them around. Those guys coming out of their 9 to 5 and they're trying to hoop while not trying to break a hip so they can get ready for next shift. And the last thing you want to do is just pull out a gun on because a guy didn't get the call right. There's a reason why you guys aren't called up for varsity anymore.
Please tap into the Patreon today's episode,
That
man.
nigga daddy need to get on camera. I want to meet them for real. Now I want to meet these niggas. We gotta get your household together, nigga.
Ironically enough, the father hasn't been much of a media presence as of late. Since like there was another leak of Julia Newman in adult scandalous behavior before the OnlyFans was leaked with her getting cracked. She was getting cracked in her earlier sentiment. This isn't her first time with controversy of her doing scandalous things on camera, and we're yet to have her father give any opinion of his own. Hell, we had more opinions from LeVar Ball, all because LiAngelo Ball back in the reality show had fucking tattoos. And every brother now has tattoos. Hell, LaMelo still can't drive. And at least they reference it.
Hey,
nigga, I'm a hell of a stepdaddy. I'll step in. I got enough money to take care of the family. I'll get some order in that bitch on my mama.
Get some shit handled in there, cuz.
Hey, remember he lost that game and got an upgrade from his job.
Oh my God.
Nah, tap into the Patreon tonight, man. We go over him telling team that he worked out in his video.
He said he was doing advanced training. He was throwing balls at that nigga.
Should hit that nigga with a bowling ball, stupid ass.
Oh yeah, some of the training regimen involving like the kids wearing this is him when he was like 11, 10 years old, showing up with his little weight vest on while Jamie's throwing fucking basketballs at him full speed. And he has to dribble with a ball in his hand at the same time. And I understand the whole point of trying to simulate pressure. There's not another like teammate with you helping you in your training. Jamie, you know this could have been easier if you just defended him while helping him do drills to consistently master how to separate from one defender or multiple defenders. What part of goddamn training involving chucking projectiles is any way to simulate basketball? That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. And he thought he was going to make the league? Like, we have the Ball family freaking weight training. That simulates what you need to require in the NBA. You do need strength. You do need to emulate a ball, court vision. Be confident. The brothers were all around each other, so they were all doing 1v1s and trying to master their crafts, how to beat guys one-on-one. Developed a long-range jumper. Even if they were unorthodox, they were consistent. Always getting opinions. When LaMelo Ball was younger, he was considered the same thing as a showboat over Jamie Newman. Julia Newman, over being a showboat, a one-man show, and then developed his court vision where he got more of an IQ, was more mature to share the rock, and then developed a more efficient way to try to score. So getting like triple doubles for him was a lot more easy. By the way, he dropped 40 on his head when they played against each other. So I don't know where the hell they got this comparison from. Other than they both had, clout. Come on.
He told Jeff he worked out so hard.
Jeff was in the NBA.
This nigga's retarded. I said, bro, we are grown as hell. Niggas already had kids and families and everything when you was in high school. You played against LaMelo Ball, bro. That's little bro. That was like in 2018, nigga.
Oh God.
Oh man, please tap into the Patreon today, man. Mafia tears going down, man. Thank you, Julia Newman, for the content. You are a fucking idiot. Moving on,
nigga, bro.
Shout out to the
I had
Cavs.
to get that bitch my energy like that, bro.
Hey, your phone was booming.
I swear to God, slapping.
My
Like,
shit
then
was
we get on
booming.
his ass. I'm like, nah, leave that nigga
Hey,
alone,
when
bro.
Mirror called me and was like, "Hey, he wants to pull up, cuz."
Had mouth crashing.
Hey, Malcolm,
Mouth
y'all
crash.
really listening to this dude?
Mouth got
man.
that his sister.
Y'all crazy, man. All right,
Yeah, I
man.
would definitely put Malcolm on there. Make
Hey,
it real
yo.
tight,
Sorry,
nigga.
it'll be-
Malcolm's already there. In other news, Dennis Schroeder is sent to the Charlotte Hornets for trade, man. Hell of a transition there. But hey,
How many teams?
That's a sad transition. We just came from a controversy involving allegations calling a man a PDF file to talking about another Dennis Schroeder trade. At that point, just say that the water's blue and the grass is green, man. Every time Dennis Schroeder gets traded. Every time Dennis Schroeder gets traded, folks. Dennis Schroeder been getting traded since he's been getting that BS. Oh, I'm gonna bet on myself on some Cam Thomas BS. That did not go out well. Oh, my fault. What is going on, Crazy Juice? I apologize. I didn't even notice the chat. How you doing? But yeah, for going past like what else is happening around the league, like I think Dennis Schroeder's played for what, half of the NBA's teams? Because I remember he was on the Hawks, Thunder. Hell, he was on the Nets like last year. Lakers, Celtics. Was he on the Sacramento Kings? I think he was on the Sacramento Kings with De'Aaron Fox. I don't think he was the Indiana Pacers. I think he was on the Toronto Raptors in 2025. At this point, he played for your team. And I'm not talking about your favorite NBA team. I mean your team. Your old high school team at that point. How dare they disrespect my favorite journeyman, Dennis Schroeder. Don't you know he was on the cover of NBA 2K16? The German version. Yes, they had a German version of NBA 2K. I think they always had like region. I don't know when they started having regional cover athletes. I remember there was a cover athlete for I think NBA 2K9 or 2K7, and it was a Japanese talent that was signed from the NBA. I think he came all the way from Japan. Toured and played for the Phoenix Suns and became the cover athlete, regional cover athlete for Japan. That's cool. Oh, by the way, speaking of which, there was another like NBA talent that was like 5'0", and he can ping the ball like that. He had Nash court vision, and he Yuki Kawamura. Is he still in the NBA? I think he plays in the Los Angeles Clippers now on a 10-day or some shit. That is talent. Yuki playing like prime Nash. He's like 5'8". Could probably, and he was probably dominating Japan too. You forget some of these guys coming from abroad. They were beasts. Mario Hezonja, yes, he had a tenure in the NBA before getting signed back to the Cavaliers. I mean, hell, that's better than getting LeBron James, I guess. I don't know. I'm not the front office. Oh, we got some My Career news. Put your My Player into the moments that defined NBA history in the brand new My Career Eras mode. Oh, shit. NBA 2K. DST will see you now. We're going to check out what's going on because this is actually a cool concept. So now you're able to finally a unique game mode that's going to give a new case scenario. So you can now do your My Player can now enter different eras of NBA history. I apologize for the sound. That's probably coming from the lawnmower outside. Neighbors doing the yard. That is cool though. You can enter like Larry Bird era, probably 2000s era. Hell, you could probably help the prime Orlando Magic back at 90, back in the mid. Hardaway. That is insane. 12 teams in the NBA gang. Come on. Oh, yeah. I think Dennis Schroeder is also a Charlotte Hornet. He's a Charlotte Hornet now, I think. He was just with the Cavaliers not that long ago, being a backup guard over to like James Harden. At that point, Dennis, why not play for like Bayern Munich? When they consider you a god, you already accomplished a lot for your country. And Bayern Munich, I think they had like Serge Ibaka. They always play in the Euro League. Why not just do that for yourself? Style, you're good at international play. I'm sure you know Euro rules. I think he's just so. And there's nothing wrong with that. But me personally, I would just consider, just a different scenery, especially when like we see what happens when you're like a further more irrelevant. But he's dependable, but really like replaceable. And I feel like that is a harsh reality for certain NBA players out there that you feel like they'd be dependable. It's like Kentavious Caldwell Pope or KCP if you're a Lakers fan. It's I don't know. As soon as I change my freaking headset, they just alternate the that give me a second later. I apologize for that. But we're gonna be outside of the Jaden Newman news. Speaking of comeback, guess who's coming back? Oh no, we're not doing this. Come on, we're a few months away from the season. We're already getting an off-season Ben Simmons news update that he's fully peaked and conditioned and he's ready to come back to the NBA. Oh God. I thought we were done with this. Woo. By the way, they have Jonathan Taylor. They have like Jonathan Taylor over like Lamar Jackson in the rankings for top 100 players in the NBA. But it's gotta be the funniest thing ever. And I thought it was over. Ben Simmons was like a regional reputable fisher now. He's not even considering coming back to basketball after like his reputation's been tarnished since he got traded from the Sixers to the Nets. Then he couldn't really concede fitness. He still gets hurt a lot. He's been a triple single magnet off the bench, and he's not even starting caliber anymore. But if you see like the training videos of him, he seems to be back in peak physical condition. He can move around the floor. It sucks too because Ben Simmons, if he just developed a jumper like Kobe said, I don't know how you don't take Kobe's opinions to heart. He would have been still a reasonable, seasoned veteran wing defender. Like he'd just be a more mobile version, a more offensive, a more offensive Evan Mobley, for being honest. Because I'm sure, like the expectations for Ben Simmons was to be the same level of LeBron mixed with Magic Johnson, where he had the explosive athleticism plus the court vision off transition and fast breaks. Because him and Ben Simmons, man. I understand everybody's glazing the Sixers now because LeBron James is there with Jaylen Brown. Tyrese Maxey is obviously a very great point guard, a shooting guard. And VJ Edgecombe has shown to be like very like starting caliber, but obviously rotations are probably going to be very frequent with him with a lot more experience, more than youth on the rotation. And Joel Embiid, a lot less healthier than when Ben Simmons was there. But he does look skinnier. And it sucks too because Embiid really, I feel like his best years were obviously back in like when his MVP seasons, but also I feel like the funnest offense I've seen from the Sixers was actually when Ben Simmons was there. I think they had like Mike Muscala. If you guys remember Milos Teodosic, Tobias Harris. Well, I don't know if Tobias Harris is still on the Sixers around that time. I think this is before they even signed that terrible Al Horford deal for like 4 years, $100 million, and then they just had JJ Redick just for shits and giggles, and a decent enough front court where you had 3-and-D wing defenders, decent spot-up shooters that can also transition and finish off the block, and you just had a good combo 1-2 punch until Embiid was able to shoot a lot more frequently when they traded for Jimmy Butler when he was like when he was trying to get himself traded away from the Minnesota Timberwolves. I can remember that offseason like it was yesterday when he was talking shit to Karl Anthony Towns, Andrew Wiggins, saying that these guys can't do shit to me. Y'all need me. Ooh, that was such a crazy offseason around that time after training camp. It sucks too because if it wasn't for that jumper from Kawhi Leonard, ironically enough, I'm not trying to rant all over that bullshit. No evidence. But God forbid they're giving Terry Rozier 25 to life just for fucking gambling. But embezzling money that's supposed to go to the fortunate just to give under the table money to an NBA player, one player, over a fake business. NBA, that's some fraudulent shit. Y'all should be ashamed of yourselves. That is disgusting. There is more. How you make the translator for Shohei Ohtani have more integrity than the entire Clippers front office? You're making Donald Sterling feel like he's less of a bigot just off that alone, man. We had 12 years of Clippers jokes. Nets governor. I didn't know there was governors for the front office. Joe Tensai on how the Nets fan base feels after watching the Knicks win a championship. Oh no, they're Knicks fans now. Being from the same city, every year some teams are going to win a championship. This year, that team is the same city, the Knicks. It irritates our fan base, and it's embarrassing. We had a plan, and we're rebuilding. And I think now I think right now we are on a positive trajectory. Your positive trajectory was 12 picks in the first round. That's literally what the governor of the front office of the Nets is saying. The Brooklyn Nets, mind you, Brooklyn. Everybody knows where that part of New York is, right? That they're in a positive trajectory. My ass, bro. You got two ball hogging wing defender shot chuckers out of Randall and Michael Porter Jr. There is no trajectory to be had. The saddest thing is they've signed back Cam Thomas to a minimum deal after that guy couldn't even get himself a signing on the New Orleans Pelicans. They keep 50-year-old DeAndre Jordan before they get a prime Cam Thomas. That is sad. I think everybody is aware, but it's always the on paper trajectory that's always going to keep the expectations high for Sixers fans. Don't tell him that. Don't tell him that he's not young. Don't tell him that he's not young. That's what kills the dream. That's what makes it sweeter, Crazy Juice, because I love killing dreams for Sixers fans. Hawks, Thunder, Lakers, Celtics, Rockets. Oh, God, he was on the Rockets. Raptors, Nets, Warrior. Yeah, goddamn, he was on the Warriors. What is this all in a 3-year span? He was a Piston King, now a Cavalier. No, he's a Hornet. Yeah. Thank you, Crazy Juice. Damn, that is a lot of NBA teams, man. I think he's nearly tied with the record from another journeyman from like 27 years ago. I'm not even trying to make a joke there. Don't go there. That's still insane, though. Who cares? You're Knicks fans now. Who cares? Nets fans do not give a shit. Nets fans are just they're vicariously living off the Knicks' success because they're still in the same borough. They're not that far to just take whatever subway they can and just celebrate with the Knicks fans already close by. They won't tell. They're hiding their D-Lo jerseys. At that point, man. And look, I get it. I'm sure they're trying to emphasize that the Nets, there's a significant like bitterness of Nets fans, if they exist, that they don't fucking exist. There's no Nets fan base. The only emphasis they had on even a contendership was Kevin Durant, all bucket getters on a team. You consider that a big three with nobody with a consensus role. They're comparing KD, Kyrie, and James Harden. Yes, they were a very competent offense with like Joe Harris and a foot on the line. Only chance when they lost to the Milwaukee Bucks in like 6 games. And then you guys got swept by the Boston Celtics. And they considered that a gimme game to the Celtics, all because they had better players, even though Harden was either injured or wanted out. Kyrie was either no COVID or he's out. He had, like, I remember when he wasn't even allowed to play road games, because of the consensus on the COVID vaccination, the COVID rulings, because it was like 2021. And Kevin Durant was like with an Achilles tear. So you guys were imbalanced, immature, and inefficient to even stay on the court that much. Ridiculous. And I hope Nets just don't, they actually develop a good, like, I think like Igor Damon is probably the best like young talent on the team right now. If it's not Michael Porter Jr., that I think is going to lead the Nets in scoring again until he finds a legitimate team. Because unlike Cam Thomas, Michael Porter Jr. could be actually used on like a win now team. I thought he was going to go to the Detroit Pistons. That I feel like would be a perfect fit after like they lost Isaiah Stewart, and they let Tobias Harris walk to the San Antonio Spurs, where they actually need a efficient shooting wing that can create his own shot. Oh, speaking of which, we got Sunday night main event soon. How y'all feeling about that? With Braun Breaker and Obafemi having a rivalry. I actually like some of the setup for the shows. And I missed out on the Rey Mysterio Chad Gable Intercontinental title match. So it seems like Monday was actually a decent show for once. Can we do that for Friday whenever I stream it, please? Just a thought. Just a thought. Just a simple thought. For the love of God. What other news we have other than some old clips of Ron Killings and Samoa Joe facing off? Yeah, Saquon Barkley hasn't really changed. It's only 9 seasons he's been in the NFL right now. Justin Jefferson, I feel so bad for. By the way, what type of hammer lifting is this? Are they getting shocked?
Turns on. All you have to do is withstand the electric shock for 5 full seconds without letting go. Sounds pretty tempting, right? It's only 5 seconds of electricity. Just grit your teeth and tough it out. But anyone who has actually tried it quickly realizes that the $5,000 prize is a lot harder to win than it looks. At first, most challengers look completely relaxed, like the money is already theirs. But the instant the power comes on, everything changes. Their legs start kicking wildly, their faces turn bright red, and even though only 1 or 2 seconds have passed, it looks like they've been struggling for half a minute. But here's the strange part. If their entire body is twisting around like that, why don't they just let go of the hammer? It's not that they don't want to. The electrical stimulation causes the muscles in the hand and forearm to contract hard. Their brain may be telling their fingers to release, but the muscles can't respond normally. So you get this bizarre scene where the whole body is desperately trying to pull away.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's what happens when Gina is giving you a good surprise. You can't pay me to do that, man. That's insane. That is insane. The entire map of GTA 6 got leaked. All this luchador action reminds me of WCW Thunder days. I don't know, Jamel. I don't know. This is a humiliation ritual to me, Jamel, because you guys don't know what's going on WWE. They're doing a little bit of a luchador tournament, and whoever wins faces Roman Reigns for the world title. Just a job out? I think the most you see from Lucha Libre is if it's not Dominic Mysterio. By the way, they've hoed Dominic Mysterio this year. Let's keep that 1,000. Like poor guy came from like a young upstart headlining PLEs while being the Intercontinental Champion to being like completely irrelevant. Hell, you're making Undertaker look like a better booker than Triple H, and that's just me being honest.
As Casey pointed out at halftime.
You've never seen another player like him. I'm fine with that. But you will see somebody better than him for sure.
Hopping around.
But you will never see another player like
Kyrie never watches his own highlights.
I'm cut from a different cloth. Like, oh my God.
Clean. Ooh, that is brilliant. And Kyrie never be seeing his own film. I disagree that he isn't seeing his own film. I disagree entirely. He's seeing his own film. Oh, Phantom Blade Zero is getting more footage. Is that Vic Beasley? Give me 2 seconds. Well, other news we have 12th year in the NFL. I'll allow it. Oh, for Zadarius Smith? Oh, God, it's Zadarius Smith. Zadarius Smith is now a freaking Falcon. I keep forgetting Zadarius Smith. And by the way, we found Austin Aries. After no selling that finish from John Morrison, he's back in Major League Wrestling. Yeah, Major League Wrestling. Remember Fusion? Yeah, Austin Aries is now a champion against Mystico and whoever of Reno is. I mean, it sucks too because I remember when he was like a peak star back in 2012, 2013. When he won the world title using Option C, when that used to be a pay-per-view exclusive rule. A Big Ass. You may know him as Big Ass, but the real ones know him as Remember when he beat a midget version of Daniel Bryan? I remember. So no Enzo, but we get Big Ass. Because we need another non-charismatic wrestler, like non-charismatic big. With no ring psychology ruining young talent. I feel you. By the way, thanks. Undertaker said that he'd rather have it pull out a tooth in the dentist than be a podcaster. Do y'all want to finally blame Michelle McCool for ruining all the momentum the 6 Foot Under podcast has been doing over the past couple months? Like, if we're being honest, Michelle McCool's overrated. Out of all the women in the past 15, 18 years, especially around the Divas era, when they were trying to make in-ring wrestling a bit more competent in the Divas era, I don't think anybody emulates anything from Michelle McCool except Piggy James' segment with when Lay Cool and Layla were a thing. And Michelle McCool came all the way from the Diva Search. We had like anybody else from past the Diva Search era, from like the late 2000s to the early 2010s that you guys would reference more than Michelle McCool, and that bitch is like freaking DLC. At least people know who Kelly. You got there's Kelly. Everybody remembers Kelly from her expose back on ECW, to like winning the Divas title, to being everybody's girlfriend. Everybody can reference Kelly. No one's. Eve Torres will get referenced before you reference Michelle McCool. Rosa Mendez. Hell, I know Michelle McCool can out wrestle freaking Eva Marie, but at least everybody can remember Eva Marie. Beth Phoenix. Hell, you're telling me Michelle McCool makes it to the Hall of Fame before Mickie James? In what universe does that make sense? Mickie James would practically pass the torch over Trish Stratus back at the rivalry back in 06 when she was her super fan. And then she was showcasing her talent at the next WrestleMania. Doing segments with Beth Phoenix, Santina Marella, and Kofi Kingston. To kissing John Cena. Getting that whole controversy with her and Kenny Dykstra. And then you tell me that I just feel like Michelle McCool's ball knowledge. Come on, bro. Stop lying to yourselves. Y'all can't tell me anything about Michelle McCool outside of Lay Cool and that she stole the Styles Clash. Y'all can't tell me. That's a lie. Don't lie to me. You guys can reference Michelle McCool because she's part of the era. There's a big difference between telling me what defined the era back in the late 2000s to early 2010s. And Shad Gaspard turning heel is a bit more relevant than Michelle McCool. More people, I'm seeing people do like content creators talk about like Ezekiel Jackson before and Vladimir Kozlov and William Regal that were a faction over Laycool, bro. Paige's sex tape is still talking to this day before we talk about Laycool. Yet this bitch makes it to the Hall of Fame. What did she really elevate around the women's division? There was barely even a tag division even suitably referenced. Hell, the Bellas got that on lock as them being the best duo. Even around that same era, the Bella twins were doing more reputable segments, especially the time when they were doing the guest GM and they were being the girls around Bob Barker. And he was a notable racist. That's funny. The only reason why she's in the Hall of Fame is just because she's the Undertaker's wife. Sarah's more reputable, and that used to be on that man's neck. You gotta love it. That bitch was probably giving him the biggest top if you got her goddamn neck tat, bro. And now they're making jokes on guys getting neck tats. That's insane. And look, I don't want to lambast Michelle McCool, but it just rubbed me the wrong way when she was like taking away everybody's screen time. Hell, even freaking Stephanie McMahon. Yeah, we can make jokes about her being an utter narcissist, but she kind of defined certain eras of WWE around stages around the 90s to the 2000s to the 2010s to her being daddy's little princess, part of the corporation. McMahon Helmsley era to her being the GM of SmackDown and then being the queen of the women's division and being being part of the Authority storyline that got Daniel Bryan over. Like, that's history. That's WWE history. That's made several people money and got the business over. Even if you don't like it, Stephanie McMahon can play a heel. I can admit that. And that sucks to admit because I don't like Stephanie McMahon. But at least I could acknowledge what she's emphasized around the WWE that made her like a major portion of what made a lot of guys over. Because Stephanie McMahon can play that. No one gives a shit about Stephanie. You played housewife for like a decade, bitch. No one gives a fuck about Michelle McCool. Alicia Fox with her schizophrenic ass was a lot more relevant. Cameron from the Funkadactyls is more relevant than fucking Michelle McCool, gang. Be fucking for real, folks. Be for real. I will pay somebody myself if they tell me what's their favorite Michelle McCool segment. I will pay somebody. And we're in an era where like it's not irregular to have like women that are more suitable to headline pay-per-views now. And they couldn't even do that. We had Packers Steelers. Oh yeah, didn't Drew Aller have like 2 touchdowns? I don't know if he's still gonna regularly start. I hope Drew Aller gets some opportunities on the rotation. And that depends if Aaron Rodgers has the same thing happen like his debut on the Jets. I really hope not. That'd be tough. I don't wish that upon anybody. As soon as you snap, something snaps. Oh, who used that? I swear somebody used that. I am not being called. I am not getting alleged for plagiarism. Sometimes. It's Rebel Heart. It's Rebel Heart. Oh, what's this AEW show called Rebel's Heart for Dynamite when they were in Athens, Georgia? Is this to reference Rebel's ALS? You guys don't know what happened to Rebel. That used to be part of the Straight Edge Society. She was with Britt Baker. And then she was on a hiatus on television because she suffered from a severe ALS. So I don't know if it's a reference to that or Johnny Gargano cut his contract expired. Let me just check just in case because he's still depressed. Because calling it Rebel Heart is a dead giveaway, and I bet AW fans are already on the map to see if Johnny Gargano is All Elite. Even though I heard the New Day is also All Elite. Dustin Rhodes faces backlash after anti-Semitism, anti-Islam post. Oh boy, Dusty. Oh, Dustin, Jesus Christ, Dustin. So what's the context on this? On August 15th, AEW wrestler Dustin Rhodes replied with a heart and a rocker emoji to social media, posting described anti-Islam and anti-trans, showing women holding what looked like a firearm, wearing "Come and Take It" shirt tied in women's restroom symbols. TNA's Mustafa Ali, who is Muslim, quoted August 18th saying that he respects Rhodes and finds the support disappointing. Fans and wrestlers expressed shock and some questioning if it was an error, or others seeing it as endorsing bigotry. While Ali has spoken about anti-Muslim bias in wrestling, no response from Rhodes has surfaced as discussions continue on wrestlers' social media. That, Jesus Christ, this is massively recent. Yeah, Mustafa Ali did quote, if we see here, "I respect you and your family immensely. You showing support is something." Yeah, this is. What's like the. Anybody got the context here on what Dustin Rhodes was trying to get with this? With the emoji? Ooh. I'm not trying to touch this with a 10-foot pole, folks. Yikes. Out of all the things you want to get out of context anti-Semitism posts, especially if it's Muslim related, especially involving Islam or Palestinian politics and wrestling, and that involves like Mustafa Ali, that's always like super like vocal on his like Muslim heritage, and Chicago. Don't forget about Chicago. Chicago. Shout out to Victorious. Trina's the best. I'm not gonna lie. If you guys seen Victorious, the old Nickelodeon show, and I will say this till the day I die. I mean, yeah, we know Ariana Grande was the best performer and the best singer in the show. She sucked as a character. Cat sucked. I don't care. If it's not Leon Thomas or Trina, I don't want to hear it. And she was supposed to be the sister without any talent. It was supposed to be Tori Vega. But Trina stole the show every time she was either pseudo, always had the best timing, had the most animated scenes, always had the comedic edge, and always had the best punchlines in the show. And Andre was literally the most like versatile, entertaining, and talented talent outside of Ariana Grande. And everybody was just a better like overall talent than the lead, even though she was supposed to be portrayed as a talented stray man, and that's weird. There's no source of weird. There's nothing really to get with Tori Vega. I hate whenever they have protagonists and they just make them a stray man with any odd edge that doesn't make them as odd as everybody else. Because everybody in that show was like a piece of shit to one another. That's interesting to me. If anybody liked Victorious, hell, I think every like Dan Schneider show around that time was like a malevolent, like bitter, violent, parasocial piece of shit. And it's likable because we portrayed the other characters like a loser compared to the norm of what's going on in the universe. It's weird. That's weird storytelling. I hate Dan Schneider for that. But shout out to Rebel. Hopefully, this confrontation with Dustin Rhodes, until further context, I'm not trying to villainize until like he like emphasize his own like apology or some source of context. I like to at least understand what's on both sides. Oh, by the way, look at this clip of Montez Ford looking at Bianca Belair. That's that pregnancy cake. Look at that lean. Look at that lean by Montez Ford. Woo! Look at that. That is an incredible. I love the chemistry with him and Bianca Belair. It's a shame they fumbled at a singles run. Had a potential storyline of him breaking up with Angelo Dawkins, and then just have them win the tag titles again after returning back after he just came back from his weight loss journey. I'd hate to be part of the WWE writing team. Any WWE fan would hate to be part of Unreal or the writing team. I do not get the context of that. Oh yeah, when is McIntyre coming back? I think I heard he was doing some movie films. Oh, by the way, anybody's asking who the fuck is that? Literally, who the fuck is this? That is gross. What is that? So it seems like CM Punk was doing an NXT house show. And he's taking this bump. Whatever gender fluidity program creatine neutral powder is this? I don't even want to guess. I don't even want to guess, folks. I don't want to guess. Oh, by the way, I saw that Solo Sikoa segment. Absolutely astounding. Solo Sikoa is already the most over babyface Samoan on the roster. Hell, he's already more over than CM Punk. And people still don't know if he can turn heel or not. Solo's just shown that he always displayed that he had the animated personality to get people to be entertained with him. The guy always had it. And then we haven't had him star at a WrestleMania. Fuck! Oh yeah, I still remember that segment when Travis got... God damn! Lyle Valkyrie did that to her? Jesus! Was that on Sol Ruka? What Sasuke special is that? The Neckbreaker Supreme? Whee! Oh, let's see what happened. God damn. Hopefully it's the hair. Shit. Oh, remember this beautiful segment with Elix Skipper in the cage match? I think this was a triple threat tag cage match. And 6 sides. Holy fucking dude, that was still an insane segment. Oh, by the way, if you need more TNA fumbles, the Rascals are in AEW still. The irony that I'm getting these TNA signings. Oh, we're getting an update if I Show Speed returns to WWE after WrestleMania.
WWE is coming back. No, WWE Speed's coming back very soon. Very soon.
At Levi Thorne T6, you donated 10 Canadian dollars through Super Chat. Speed.
If I hear you guys give me Canadian currency, I'm gonna refund that shit back. In any circumstance, I will never be getting any Canadian currency in my... I don't want that shit anywhere. By the way, Jeff Cobb returned to Japan. Or, I'm sorry, JC Mateo if you're a WWE fan. And he returns to face a former world champion out of Callum Newman that knows Will Ospreay. And he's English, so he knows Will Ospreay. mini Samoan Rhino's back where he belongs in the Japan, where he can do strong style, look still fat and Samoan with the wet hair, and still not be premiered on. At least he'll be premiered on pay-per-view. Whatever they draw in the New Japan, for being honest. If you're gonna be my love, my love, my love. God damn, what happened to Justin Timberlake, man? I swear, anytime I try to transition, and I hope you don't consider this disrespectful, a crazy juice. Anytime I try to transition from clip to trying to display on the tab, and then it just awkwardly segments your chat later. As soon as I cancel the tab, the share screen, it shows me what you typed me, and I thought somebody was just missing in action. Damn, I apologize if I didn't get to respond to your chat. I apologize. Let me start a bit from the top. Ooh, man. Imagine. I don't see it happening, though. I doubt there hasn't been any discuss. Was there a discuss over Johnny Gargano's contract? Because they're having him still do this depressed gimmick with no angle, and he's just there being relief for anything else. Yeah, I don't know if it displays him still as a WWE talent. Me personally, him to AEW would feed his family. I'm kidding. I'm sure he's well off. But I think for like his confidence sake, there's a lot more neutral talent that would work his style. Plus, it's just more to a more sentiment thing where like fans already know him. And I'm not saying like the WWE mainstream fans just do not know Johnny Gargano that much to empathize with him emotionally. And he's just not much of a mic worker. That I feel like is his biggest strength for AEW. Because they do not care about promos. If you see Arsenal TV and Will Ospreay, you'll get an Will Ospreay promo. Bro, I'm gonna beat you for the world title, bro. TCG Trading Simulator becoming available on console next month, then GTA. What do you mean TCG card simulator? Like they have something for you to get virtual cards, or you can purchase from TCG on console. I need further context on that one, Crazy Juice. Yeah, that Net Super Team was a freaking joke. You get swept and then you get out clutched by the Bucks. You guys are frauds. Ooh, oh yes, thank you. Okay, now you get it. I thought you were about to say Cat was a good character. No, she was just dumb. Hell, if y'all saw Sam and Cat, that shit was buns. They just made Cat look more like Patrick Star after season 4 of SpongeBob SquarePants. They took away the humor and the heart, and they just made him just a 2-dimensional character. Hell, they made him more unlikable because they just made him stick with the 2-dimensional character. Hey, my brother likes feet. Oh, and I forgot how to breathe. Like that. Come on, man. If children won't get it, why still continue it? That's weird. You should know your audience. Nickelodeon is just so out of tone with the modern era. They're still doing Thundermans. Yeah, y'all remember Thundermans? I think around the time when we probably aged out of Nickelodeon TV. Yeah, they're still doing fucking Thundermans content. At this point, just call it the Justice Thunder or something. The Justice League of Thunder. Ariana Grande is going to be part of the next Fockers movie. Fockers in Law? What, they're going to give her eating scenes? Have you seen what Ariana Grande looks like right now? That poor girl looks like she hasn't even eaten a thought. Calories run away from her. What the hell's going on with that girl? Since that wicked film came out with her and Cynthia, coming around looking like freaking skeletons out there. Even Skeletor has more calcium in his system than freaking Ariana Grande currently in 2026. I'm not even trying to make jokes. I'm sincerely concerned about her health. Oh, you shouldn't have said that, by the way, Crazy Juice. You shouldn't have said that. Rikishi would complain about you in his next podcast episode. Yeet, motherfucking yeet. Let me yeet myself to curtain jerk another WrestleMania. Shit, I think freaking Rikishi even headlined a world title match before freaking main event Jey Uso. Hell, wasn't he in the 6-pack Hell in a Cell match back in Armageddon 2000? Hell, that's at least a headline. He was part of it. Not Jey Uso type shit. Gonna take a break from TV a bit and share some important real life stuff, and it's been weighing on me with you. This is my dad. He's 84 years old up until now for a few years. When our family restaurant was unfortunately burned down, he worked every single day of his life. He was still a stubborn, resilient, hardest working person I know, definitely. This past year, he's been diagnosed with stage 4 lung and prostate cancer. So, oh, dude. Shout out to Johnny Gargano's father. Is this a recent post? This is coming from his official account. This was August 11th. Shout out to Johnny Gargano's father, man. He had him at 45 years old, man. Shout out to Johnny Gargano's father, man. Get well soon. I'm sure at 84, having that poor health, and he's trying to fight such a horrible condition of his life, man. Shout out to Gargano for sharing something like that. I really hope his father gets well soon. If you guys want to screenshot the post so you can get further context, let me share it real quick. This is awful news. Sincerely, I don't want to see anybody go for this, even my worst enemy. No one deserves stage 4 lung and prostate cancer. If there's a support system or a financial system, I'm gonna look it up. But having an incident like that with a burnt down family restaurant and he's fighting stage 4 cancer, dude. It's a whole documentation, and these are very emotional thoughts. Shit, you had Russell Westbrook to retire to get Kevin Durant to share something like that. Light moment aside, this is a very personal moment in Johnny Gargano. Prayers. Shout out to Johnny Wrestling for that sharing. Hopefully his father's doing well. Oh my God, Dragon Lee won a match. Wait, Dragon Lee's on TV still? Oh boy. Jeannie Buss robbed Pelinka versus the rest of her family. John Cena and Randy Orton against the entire Raw roster. That's practically how it is. The Buss family just sold the fucking Lakers. What was it, 10 billion? Well, what's further context for you, Crazy Juice? Because I know you probably focus on the Lakers a lot more. What? Because I think it was like what 20 billion or some shit. The Lakers, like the recent new owners, literally got more profit out of that. And then the Buss family had to sell like what 17% of their shares from the Lakers ownership. That is insane. In just a matter of like 4 years, I think. And here's I'm sorry, give me a second. Here's the context. They use one of my favorite main events of Raw. This is like 2008, by the way, when John Cena and Randy. I finished before No Way Out 2008. I thought Triple H was in this match too. Or no. No, it was just Cena and Orton versus the entire Raw roster. You know what's the worst part? You know how Jobber that had to put the rest of the Raw roster? Instead of, I think, Umaga, Jericho, and JBL, they had everybody else come out in the Raw music. You know you're Jobber if you're taking the TV show music. My camera cost me $5,000, and y'all want to shoot for 100 to 300. This is not a hobby. My Uber driver car cost $40,000. He drove me home for $12. Oh my god. I'm sorry. I thought this was America. You've been cut off. I'm not an avid drinker. Do you really get a card to say you've been cut off? In like any bar. Does that happen? Excuse me. Chet Holmgren, defensive force. All defensive first team, 1.1 blocks. No playoff wins against Wembanyama. Allegedly, the son of Wembanyama. Yeah, hopefully Chet Holmgren finally put some muscle on him. Oh, and we got some video game news. If you guys have Xbox, somehow, why? Why do you guys have an Xbox? I'm kidding. I have one. I have a Series S, though. I have a Series Slim. So if you guys want, you guys can either get Persona 3 Load, Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. It's actually better than the Mario Kart game that came out. That's just literally just Forza, but worse. Demon Slayer 2 is an arena fighter. Yakuza 0 or 2 Point Museum. Personally, my recommendation, get the Persona game and that Sonic game. Arena fighters are so played out unless they're Dragon Ball games, because that's the only thing like you can emulate. I mean, I remember I grew up around the Ninja Storm series when that came out for consoles. They are so oversaturated. Now you had a My Hero Arena Fighter. If you guys know what My Hero Academia is, and One Punch Man, I think it has an arena fighter. Black Clover is going to have an arena fighter. At that point, man. Yeah, the Bus kids are idiots. The only Bus I respect is Jerry. Well, he had the ambition to pull it off, or else it wouldn't be profiting at least double, at least a quarter of the profit that they were actually making. All right, George. This season's going to be a new one for the Cowboys. Just don't try to punch a fan. God damn, did they make DK Metcalf more of a crash out as a Steeler than George Pickens? I don't remember George Pickens punching a fan. MetLife Stadium turf in the 49ers electrical substation facing off at WrestleMania 18. How many injuries can we cause? Hey, probably the Atlanta Falcons have the same substation as the Niners, for being honest, if you've seen the injuries. Hell, probably that got Tua Tagovailoa more CTE that underperformed in a preseason game. You tell me. That's got to be some type of mid-off. You're making George Pickens question his ability. Michael Penix is looking at him like, who the fuck? Y'all saw that clip of Michael Penix? That's a whole ass meme of him pointing at Tua Tagovailoa as soon as he's sitting back on the bench. She's the most stunning woman in wrestling, easily. This person's talking about Stephanie Vaquer. She's the most stunning woman in wrestling. She's so beautiful. This is insane. It's even harder that she can't speak English that much. What? Sorry. I don't have a problem. You have a problem. Oh, by the way, can you stop, and probably a pet peeve for me. I have empathy when it comes to showing your emotions, but especially in professional wrestling, I still believe in kayfabe. Can we stop fucking crying anytime we win a belt when you know you're going to win it? I think your most thing, maybe it's just me, and I'm not trying to be sympathetic to be like these guys haven't worked hard. Bro, you won the speed title. Why the fuck are you crying? That makes you feel like you already have a ceiling. And at that point, it's not even to try to certify you, because even winning the world title, you're not even guaranteed to be a top guy. Unless you're debuting in a big PLE. You won that at Money in the Bank, dude. Who you got over the past 5 months? Fucking Otis? You won the Intercontinental title, and your first title defense was against Akira Tozawa, and you're crying over it, bro? What are we doing? Fucking crying, for God's sakes. And look, big ups too. I understand it's a big emotional opportunity. Hell, I'd be crying like Gorilla or something, or sharing my moment with my family. But if you're doing that and they push in the pyro for you on a Monday Night Raw and it's not even a special game, keep them fucking tears. That tear should be for the audience. The audience is supposed to cry because you're supposed to perform for them. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not saying that to be an asshole. I'm saying that to be realistic, that you're being too much of a mark for your own moment. When you know you're going to be there fucking next week, gang. Chris Benoit cried less when he won the world title back at WrestleMania 20. That's telling you something. And he probably didn't shed any tears after he killed. Sorry. But that's interesting to me. That's the philosophy that we go by currently. I'm going to cry after winning the women's tag titles on a go-home show before their Saturday Night Main Event. Wait, hold on, man. Am I not going to be on the pay-per-view? Oh. That gotta set a clicker up in something, man. The value of the moment, the more we oversaturate it with the championships, and you guys cry over everything. We don't make the fans cry. We don't make the fans feel like this is a moment. We make us feel like this is a moment. Why are we making the wrestlers in the current era more of a mark for themselves than the fans are for them? We gotta stop. That's what throws me out, because I feel like the wrestlers are more of a mark for themselves than the WWE fans are, and that pisses me off to no end. This is why y'all got older fans now. Not because they're staying loyal. It's just because the newer fans really can't get can't get behind some of the newer talent. Because now you're making the wrestlers more of a mark of the industry than them being than them just being in the industry in the moment, sucking in with the fans. It's terrible. It's a terrible business model. Yeah, it's a 1-year deal, by the way, for Zadarius Smith on the Atlanta Falcons. So about that quarterback signing. I don't know what was worse. Thinking that Isaiah Simmons was going to end up being an all-pro defender, or Jamal Adams going to be healthy for the rest of the season, or Zadarius Smith still gets a contract in the big 2026. Amanda. Happy birthday to Danhausen. Shout out Danhausen. Happy birthday. And happy 37th birthday to the actress of Amphibia and Andy Samberg. Happy birthday. He's pushing 50? I'm sorry. Y'all know who Andy Samberg is, right? From Brooklyn 199. Yo, he's pushing 50? He's legitimately Unk status. That is insane. He's 48. He doesn't look it. I thought he was 39. Kudos to him, and he's always had some reputable roles, especially playing like the son-in-law of Dracula in the Transylvania. In the Transylvania, I think there are like 4 movies in. With Adam Sandler in it, of course. He was a Bobcat in the recent Zootopia film. If you guys saw Sunny with a Chance of Meatballs, Rainy with a Chance of Meatballs, he was like the big baby guy. That was the comedic relief. He was in the Spider-Verse movie, the recent one. So that's insane. He's 48 years old? Kudos to Andy Samberg for looking healthy. I've seen a rough 40-year-old man, and it's not cool. 21 years ago was the Proud Family movie. What was that, 2005? I don't want to age myself. I'm not continuing with that. Nope. Ain't doing it. What other news that we have other than like the Frozen film coming back? Okay. All right. What we're not going to do is bullshit. Give me a second, folks. Probably going to have a few more minutes here, and then we're going to cut it off. Sadly, that's the unwarranted perks of working late. I wish I worked earlier. So, of course, this is going over like celebrating couples for National Couples Day. Of course, you got Fred and Velma, Belle and the Beast, Homer and Marge, SpongeBob and Sandy. When the fuck were they a romantic item? They were like not even like platonic friends. But we're doing Blitz and Stolas from Hell of a Boss. You're just taking the piss. The thing, I guess they're like a legitimate couple, but it's the most like platonic, overtly dependent bullshit. Watching the show was an absolute headache. I was watching Hell of a Boss season 1 and 2 when they were coming on Netflix. And Amazon had the rights for Vizzy Pop shows, like also Has Been Hotel, that was like a YouTube original before like Amazon got it. CJ and Mordecai is also taking the piss. They were an item, they had a relationship, but that ended poorly if y'all saw the regular show. Bubblegum and Marceline is rough. Sure, we can go Fiona and Shrek. Wally and Eva. Oh, yikes. Okay. Up. Rio. Katara and Aang. Lola, before when the Gooners weren't involved with the show creation, with Bugs. But Sandy and SpongeBob is a heavy reach, folks. Heavy reach. Yeah, that shocked me, man. Oh, I thought you were gonna call Elmo's a Knicks legend. Crazy Juice. Don't push it. But shout out to Danhausen, man. Yeah, I would say a hell of a 2026 for him. If we come into his like media light, he's probably top. He's probably top 5 in merchandise in the WWE. We understand why he's on TV, but me personally, I feel like the curse segments get overly played out. In my opinion, I have nothing against Danhausen. He's probably not my cup of tea because he's not obviously the demographic for me. Oh yeah, what happened to her? Didn't she pass away at like 38 years old, 37? What the hell happened? And she was a voice actress for... Dude. She was a voice actress for Kyrie in Kingdom Hearts. The 4th game is coming out soon. That is so sad. Dude, that caught me off guard. She is so notable for her acting reputation, bro. And she's not even 40 years old when she passed away. Is there more context? Because I think it's more political context. Because I haven't heard a health concern from her yet in the news. I bet it's on some Michael Jackson shit. Dora and Friends Into the City. 12 years ago. Stop it. Stop it. This is the equivalent of Rugrats All Grown Up if you're still trying to age up Dora for the more like adolescence demographic. Dragon Ball has finally revealed the first ever glimpse into Vegeta's mom after 38 years. We barely have context into Vegeta's mother. What the hell? They're still continuing Dragon Ball Super after a bit of a hiatus. Oh, her name is Annika. She voice acted like the blonde girl in Amphibia. I remember it. Who's gonna call him back? Who's gonna call him back? Who's gonna call him back? Okay, thank God. No, I think anybody in Toon Hive isn't really that much of a football fan. Oh shit! Foster's Home, Fun Time for Imaginary Friends has officially wrapped up, guys. If you all want to try to redo some memories with some new ones, they've made a Foster's Home Imaginary Friend. I don't know if it's a Baby 5 version, but it's obvious. It obviously looks like a continuation. Y'all want to check it out? I guess check your exclusive streaming sites. I don't know if Hulu still has the rights for Foster's Home. Oh, and Robert De Niro's birthday was a while ago. It was just yesterday. Happy birthday to Robert De Niro. 83 years old, and he still looks like he has something in the trunk for me. He's gonna try to kill me, folks. He's gonna try to kill me. VJ Edgecombe playing for his national team in the Bahamas for World Cup qualifiers for the FIBA World Cup, obviously. We'll win it. We'll win it, of course. We can't do soccer to save our lives, but we can obviously hoop with our C team, our D team, our BBC team. Jordan Tyson every time he returns from action. Takes the seat as soon as the seat enters the field, it already breaks Jordan Tyson's leg. That's brutal. Musiala What, you mean Jamal Musiala? No. No, this guy talks about wrestling. Okay. Oh, Patrice Evra is going to be coaching the Senegalese national team. If any of y'all are sadly an Arsenal fan. I think that's going to be probably all the news that we're going to have here. By the way, I saw like a clip of like them going over like the inflations of haircuts. Even Shiloh Sanders is like, bro, $100 for a haircut? They're missing Finn and Huntress Wizard. Ooh, that's a good shout. That's a good shout. That's a good shout, Crazy Juice. Hell, I just streamed the whole Fiona and Cake series. I'm shocked they didn't go over that, but no, we'll do SpongeBob and Sandy Cheeks. Why? Because somehow Rule 34 rules upon our shipping. Oh, that's cool. We're not, sadly, Crazy Juice, I will cancel the stream before you go over the entire lore in chronological order involving the spin-off games from the PSP exclusives too. I am not having that today. Other than that, we're going to close off here. This is Rashad McCann. You want to cover it in chronological order, Crazy Juice? We out the mud. It's Rashad McCants. Other than that, I hope you guys have a great, blessed rest of the day. Thank you. It's crazy doing back-to-back streams for 2 days straight. But besides that, thank you guys for spending time with me over in the stream. We'll try to cut off these in the clips to put them out for short-term content. You guys can also follow me on TikTok and X. Same title as before for DST Show. That's it for me over on the network. We're going to close off. I hope you guys have a great rest of the week to yourselves. Come vacation time, I'll see if I can do this a lot more frequently. Thanks. We'll be closed up for college football action soon. NFL season will be starting off soon. We'll be closing off in the preseason, and we'll still have some baseball content. And the Premier League will be coming back this Sunday. Probably some furthermore Premier League content because we probably have the off-season closing up since Rodri signed with Barcelona. And we still haven't had the transfer market close up yet. So there could still be some news out there that we can cover up. But thanks for being with me. Even if you weren't active for interaction, it's great that you guys took a glimpse into the channel. You could probably share this, subscribe, like, or, allegate me to some illegal stuff I had no relation with in December 5th of 2007. That's it for me on the DSC show. Thanks for watching.